Well, good morning, everybody. It's August 25th. I don't know if you saw that fish jump out of the water. That was cool. May rewind it, but right over here, fish just jumped out. Anyway, it's August 25th. We're on the tail end of our summer. In the last week, we've hit temperatures of 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, so we're at the worst of the worst before the rains come. So let's take a look at this main flow we got here. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of my property line. This is where the water comes in from a culvert, and I probably need to rock line this. It's definitely taking sediment, creating a ditch and depositing in here. I mean, just looking at this, I should be able to get the excavator and dig this out deeper. But it's doing what I wanted to do, which was catch sediment, keep it from going in the main pond. Let's keep going down here. I think a lot of y'all like to see the difference in the greenery as we hit summer. And I've got some real jewels, some real good areas, especially the paddock I was working on, where I have the little 6 foot deep hand pump. That'll be on the next video, but that area is really maintaining the green. I'm really proud of that. But let's take a look at the sediment pond. You know, when you first walk and look at it, you think, oh my gosh, it's down big time, but it's only down about a foot. I mean, it looks more than that because it's just a shallow entry. I mean, it's very shallow. So if you go from the edge here, you know, picture it level and then go down in the water, it's roughly a foot. It's not a big drop at all. But it looks like it is filled in with sediment also. And I'm probably going to scoop it out. I'm going to go to the other side here and we'll talk about this real quick. And there was a fish in here that's at least 8 inches long or longer. I mean, about every time I walk over here, I'll see him darting through. And I have not done any water addition to this sediment pond at all. But what I wanted to talk about, excuse me, I'm gonna have to sneeze. Okay, I'm back. So the big story here is I've actually got nursery stock of lily pads. And if you look at the lily pads and then come up and look at, say, this right here, and this right here, and this right here, they seem to be entirely, completely new plants. So this is going to be very good nursery stock. I can start pulling these out and putting them into other ponds, and I'm very excited about that. Coming off of a virus, if you hear me sniffling, and it was a rough one. We're going to see some bass. Let me zoom in here. Hopefully y'all can see them. Anyway, going to the main pond here. I guess what I want to talk about here is if you look down there, the culvert is sticking out. That's my cue to add water. And what I want to point out also is we're going to come over here and you're going to see a rock. Let's see if I can use my finger. See that rock right there on the shoreline? The bottom of that is what I actually consider full. I mean, as we had that underground flow and it was pushing water out and water was actually exiting the pond, it created a temporary new high, but that bottom of that rock is what I consider to be full. So we're down about, I'd say we're down about a foot also. And when I drive around, and I may put it on this video, but when I drive around, these ponds are outperforming the ponds I'm seeing in the area. Sure hope you saw the bass in here. But I think there's no doubt we got a clear pond. I mean, if you remember seeing anything from previous videos, we had maybe 6 inches of trying to get to where I'm hoping you can see the 2 bass there. I think I got it in there. Anyway, we definitely got a lot better visibility, and oh my gosh, there's a big bass there. He just went under. I don't know if y'all saw him or not. Anyway, so observations, get back to the video here. So it's a lot clearer than it was. I will say I did add water once. I probably put 3 inches in, and that's for the entire summer. And granted, we had a very decent summer. Like I said, it was probably the last 2 or 3 weeks where it really got bad to well over 100 degrees. But the one thing I'm missing here is I'm not seeing the hundreds and thousands of guppies. See something stirred up right there. Oh, there's another bass. I wish you could see him. Hopefully you can see him. I won't know till we post this video. Anyway, when I walk around, I see bass. I don't see perch, which anybody here in Central Texas, perch is a big one in ponds. And I'm not seeing the thousands, literally thousands of guppies. I mean, at first I thought, okay, they moved off the shoreline into these floating mossy areas. But I think they're just at the point where my suspicion is the bass are eating them, and they're eating them fast. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. You know, when I talk to the fish supplier guy, I am seeing guppies down over here in this edge, but I'm just not seeing what I did before. But when I talked to the fish stocking guy that I bought the bass from, he said the main feed is perch. I mean, they get bigger. They're getting 4 inches, 6 inches, whatever sized, which the guppies are not. They're itty bitties. So I've got to get perch into this pond in quantity. Now my lower pond is full of stunted perch, so I'll be trapping them and bringing them up here. But I don't think I've ever showed a video where you can see the underwater log structure over here. I mean, we couldn't even see the culvert. If it wasn't sticking out of the water, we couldn't see the culvert, but as you can see right now, we got full visibility. And there's the other thing I'm going to say about the bass is, you know, I put in 2 or 3, like 1.5 to 2 pound bass, and then I put these little fingerlings in. Well, I've got bass in here smaller than the fingerlings I put in, so I definitely had a spawn here. So I don't know if I had already had bass in here before, but we definitely had a spawn in here, and that's just kind of unusual. I mean, I just don't know where it came from. I mean, I'm seeing bass in here too, and I hope you're picking it up. Just right to the right of the culvert over here. Anyway, pond's doing great. Like I said, you can look at the side and say, yeah, we're losing water, but if you look at ponds in the locale, it's doing better than a lot of other ones. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you is what I've done since the last big rain to fix some of the problems with the water flow, and I'm talking about the big water flows. So we're going to keep walking down here. You can also see the background with the grass and stuff. So as the water, I'm kind of walking in the path of the water when it overflows. And we added this little dam, this little white dam, which is very narrow. It was capturing water from trying to gush out this way. Anyway, in the last rain, up at about this point before it hit into these rocks, it was actually flowing over that way. So the white is original, and you can see topsoil here that we actually added height and width to this, and we're hoping that's going to contain the water and force it down this over here. And as you can see, there's a little bit of Bermuda grass starting to take over, but this is something I'll have to mulch and put in some fall seed mix on here to get it planted. Excuse me. You can see the cows here. Anyway, then from there we had my beaver dam. I mean, it's not a real beaver dam, but you call it a brush pile. But I added some dirt into it to make it more like a beaver dam. Anyway, it was still flowing. You know, because of the dirt, it was kind of damming it up, and it was pushing the water this way out of the path. So we found a lot more brush and stacked it on here. Anyway, so this is fixed, and I think this has been through a rain event and worked. I'm not sure, but we'll be filming next time we get a gusher. Anyway, let me walk further on down. Got a couple more things to show you. So my low water crossing to fix the where Taffy's walking over here, to fix that area that this is where we pulled the soil from. And this works good because it's just going to drop more sediment down here. So it's an area you can once a year come and harvest the soil. Anyway, we're going to hop this fence and take a look at what else we got along this line. All right, we're making our way down to the one log dam. I mean, nothing's different here other than, you know, I had harvested soil out right here and created a hole, which I think works better than the one log dam as far as holding water. Nothing better than a hole in the ground to hold the water. Anyway, it's starting to fill in, so we could harvest there, or we add another log to it to get a bigger height differential. And then we're gonna get down to the brush dam, which I think is cool because it's maturing. I mean, as you can see, the main dam here, vegetation is breaking into it, kind of holding it together. There's nothing that's gonna push this through at this point. But on the big rain, we did have same thing over here off to the left. It was, water was diverting out to the side. What happens with these brush dams, I just use cedar limbs mainly, and then as we get the leaf fall and then we get a rain, it carries all the, like the live oak leaves in here, and it starts clogging it up like a sponge to further slow down the water. Anyway, it started pushing around to the left, and as you can see by the pine needles, this is all new stuff we added. So it'll take a year or two for it to compact down and get the vegetation growing through it. And I can help it along. I mean, I can get the tractor bucket and just push it down. But that's really everything I wanted to show along this line. My next video, like I said, we're gonna go back over to the middle flow, and yeah, I got some real good difference in graining. I mean, that area where we did the hand well pump, it's really holding some grain, and it happens to be a very low spot on the land, which helps to hold the water also. But this is the last pond in the original pond. You can see there's still good green Bermuda along the edge there, and this one is not holding. I mean, I had used Dammit pond sealer like probably back in like 2017 or something, a long time ago, and got it fixed where it was holding water. Now it's holding at about half the level, but I'm okay with that. This is I mean, this is the last chance along this whole flow to hold the water on my land, and that's what happened last time on my biggest channel up to date when I made it down here after 4 inches of rain and big rivers and stuff. When I got down to here, the water wasn't overflowing it yet. So this pond actually caught all the water from a big rain event and kept it. But this is also the pond full of let's say immature, undersized perch. So I'm gonna start trapping them and take them up to the main pond so I can feed those bass, because it's just crazy how many bass I got. Anyway, we're gonna pretty much sign off here. Next video will be on the diagonal flow. We're gonna see a lot more grain. But this is where we're at now. Like I said, we're probably 2 weeks before rain. So I think we're in real good shape here. I mean, this is probably the best year ever as far as maintaining water in the ponds and stuff. Y'all have a great day.